Hi everybody, Carol here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be making a fall card, and there were the measurements. The card ends up being 4 5/8 by 6 1/2. I used to make that size a lot. I don't too much anymore. I'm scoring it down the middle and going to fold it over. You saw that I also cut out the background paper, which is an olive green. And this is the stamp set I use. It's called Country Pleasures, and it is a Stampin' Up stamp set, but very old. I've been using their products for a long time, and I'm not a dealer, never have been. Probably been using their things for 15 years. But anyway, so I'm going to stamp this little country scene off with VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I typically do more than one print in case one doesn't work out, or I want to make more than one card, or save it for another day. I'm going to flip it around, and the paper that is, and stamp the sentiment up in the corner. It helps me to line it up and makes it a little easier to get it straight. Now I'm bringing out the Millennium pen because some of the picture there did not stamp off all the way, so I'm using it to fill in the roof and the door and the windows, whether that is a farmhouse with a silo in the back or a barn. I'm not quite sure. But now I'm going to bring in a stencil that I bought a long time ago at a garage sale antique mall type place. And I'm going to put down some scratch paper to catch any overflow that might happen. That's why I have those little white wings on the side, so that the ink won't go off onto the cardstock if I'm stamping directly onto the front of a card. In this case I'm not, but it's there for protection. Then I thought I better draw my circle because I'm going to go back and cut this out in a little while. So I'm using the stencil brush here on the left hand side. I used the makeup sponge as you saw on the right hand side. The stencil brush takes a little longer to build up the ink. It just depends on the look you want. I'm going back and smoothing out the other one on the right with that stencil brush. Then I'm going back and making it a little darker, and I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to cut this in half, and you can see in a minute which side you like better. Now I'm measuring this with a little ruler there to try, because I am going to cut it down the middle, and I do want to try to get it completely in the middle. It's a little difficult to judge on a circle, so I wanted to measure it. I did prints on both sides, as you can see, of that paper, and I wanted to choose the one I liked the best. And so now I'm going to go back and erase that pencil mark and cut this out with the scissors there, and in a little while I'll go back and cut off the little pointy parts that get on the paper, as you remember, as you know, when you're cutting something out. So I've cut it in half now. I'm going back with a darker red orange ink now to kind of add a little drama, a little oomph to the sunburst there, and see which one I like better. Just to give it a little something. I'm also going to go around all the edges. I'm going back to the orange now to just finish off there, those little points that I'm cutting off. Just to finish off the edge, get rid of the white edge. In this case it was yellow paper, but just to give it a finished edge. I decide to use the darker ink, half. I'm putting the glue on it, Tombow Mono Multi, setting it aside to dry. It goes on white, and when it dries it's clear, and then it is repositionable. You can move it around. And I'm talking while I'm cutting this out. And I will also go around these edges with the ink. But right now I'm going to cut out the little sentiment, a couple of them there to have them ready for when I need them. I will take all three pieces and go around the edges with a neutral ink and the makeup sponge. Now that is a white paper and a white edge, and it just gives it a nice dark edge, more of a framed look. Also doing it with the green paper just adds some interest to the picture. So I'm gluing this down on the edge. Well, I haven't glued it yet. I'm just setting it down to see where I like it, where I want to position it, how I want to do. On the little farm scene there, I do end up making 2 cards, and one of them I glue down. One of them I put down with foam mounting tape so that it has a raised look, of course. So you, again, can see which one you like better. And then very quickly, I'm going to speed through this, but I'm doing the coloring of the pumpkins. And I'm going to do some grass on the ground, some green grass, but it is fall, so some of the grass is dying out and losing its strength, and so I thought I'm going to put some brown down to show kind of dead grass, to be honest, and then the background with the very, very light blue, just a very light sky. So here we go. I glued the sun down. I'm putting down the little scene, the country scene. I decide I might have better measure. Sometimes it's a little difficult to tell when you have one that long if it is actually straight. Put on the thinking of you, and I'm going to pull down the other one. And that's the one on the right is the one that the picture is raised up a little bit on the foam tape. So I'm going to put them up close, a little bit close together, so you can see which sun you like better. And you could make it as dark as you wanted to. So that's it. It's a little fall scene getting ready for the season coming up. And I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for joining me today. There will be some more videos at the end if you want to look at those, and a subscribe button. But thank you, and I hopefully will be back real soon.